Well, let's talk about your quarterback, if you don't mind here, Garrett, since that's obviously a quarterback-driven league, and you got a very famous one who's going to the Hall of Fame, and everybody loves talking about. What is your relationship? How would you categorize your relationship with Aaron Rodgers, Garrett?
Yeah, man, we have a good relationship. It's one that started 2 years ago, and obviously I was as pumped as anyone to be able to get to know him and play football with him, and it's been awesome, man. Regardless of um, the record this year and how things may have went last year, it's really been awesome to get to know him, and he's someone that I learned a lot from, and throughout the rest of my career I'll refer back to, and hopefully someone that I'll be able to text for the rest of my life and while I'm going through these things because he's seen a lot, he's been through a lot, and us going through this together as far as this season and how things have went. I think it's maybe strengthened our relationship a little bit. When things are going right, when you're 10-0, 8-2, all of a sudden everyone's happy, but you really got to dig deep in times like this, and he's someone that gets that. So having him has been really cool.
What have you learned from him? You said you learned a lot from him. What can you throw out on the table for my listeners and viewers to gather on that?
Yeah, just the way to approach the week, man. I would say that's the main thing. When you play 20 years like him and play until you're 40, stuff like that doesn't happen by accident. And he's still playing at a high level. He's still someone that can put the ball all over the field, and just the different get back techniques that he uses as far as his recovery, the way he goes about his preparation, his film study, the way he sees the game. It's all things regarding that because cerebral guys like that are just not common, and to have someone to his stature, to his level of it is for me to not be a sponge when I'm around him would be wrong.
Well, his leadership qualities have been definitely called into question. I'm sure you're aware of what people say in our world. How would you describe his leadership abilities on this team, Garrett?
Yeah, I would describe him. I mean, everyone's got their own way of going about it. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to go about being a leader. But the reality of it is, when you're as good as him and play at as high of a level and have that aura about you, I guess is the word. And when you walk in the room, people notice. It's kind of put upon you to be a leader, and some people have a way they think that should look, but Aaron's just got his own way about it, man. He's really, and I think it's a good way. Personally, everyone's got their own opinion, and that's just the world we live in. But yeah, especially during times like this, and just seeing him go about the way he hasn't wavered at all in his prep, and the way he practices and the way he coaches during the meeting room, which says a lot about someone when things aren't going right. All of a sudden people may quiet up, may turtle up because things aren't going right, and then all of a sudden they don't see the need to maybe speak on a talking point, but that's not him at all. So it's been really cool, and I've been around multiple quarterbacks, multiple different versions of leaders, ones that are soft spoken, speak a lot. And I truly believe that there's not a right way to go about it, just a way, just your way. And I think he's, especially when knowing him, getting to know him over these last 2 years, that's something he really exemplifies.
And how has it been for you to be in the same receiver room as another Hall of Famer in Devontae Adams, Garrett?
It's been awesome. Just first of all, he's just a great dude, and the way he came in and interacted with all of us. Was really cool. But starting first week, he spied something out that he didn't like, and instead of maybe thinking it's not his turn to speak on it yet, he's too new here, he spoke on it. So just the level of respect that I have for something like that. We have a lot of conversations just about different things regarding life, regarding football, and all of them are valuable. All of them are valuable for me. So and then not to mention just stealing his releases, seeing how he goes about practice and stuff like that, man. I mean, no one can guard that dude, and it's been really cool to get to know him over these last. I guess it's only been a month or so, but we knew each other a little before that, and he's been everything and more.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to me that it's all set up, and it just seemed to me that it was all set up at the beginning of the year, Garrett, and it seems to me that it is all set up, but things are just not clicking, and I know you're not used to that from college, That's for sure. And I know you coming in was supposed to be part of a culture change, and that the fact that it hasn't really happened on the wins and losses doesn't mean that it hasn't. But how are you handling all this? How are you personally, professionally handling what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, there's, it's frustrating, and like you said, I came in bright-eyed, ready to go, and thinking that because they drafted me, Sauce, and Brees and Jermaine and all these guys, and the previous year they had done it, it was just going to happen naturally. But the reality of it is it's hard, man, and we got to find a way to win games. At the end of the day, that's the ultimate culture changer, and some people might say it's the other way around. It might be. I still haven't figured out exactly. I kind of inherited a great culture when I chose my school for college. I chose when I chose where to go to high school, so it's just different when you're in the league. All of a sudden you get drafted somewhere and you got to find a way to leave your imprint and go about things the way you think they should. But it hasn't turned out. It hasn't been exactly what I expected. And the way I see that is there's still a lot of mountains to climb. I can still I don't know, man. I just got to approach it with a pro level approach because I am a professional in this. This is my job, and every time I take that field, I'm blessed to do so, and I gotta make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward, playing good football. So that's the mindset. That's the approach. Regardless of what the result may be or what it's been so far, I always want to make sure that when I turn my film on and when I'm watching myself, that I'm proud of the product I put out there, and that's not going to stop.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.